Good evening and welcome. Tonight we'll be going over the history and geography of Adrar in Algeria. Adrar, as you can see, is a huge region of Algeria. They are known as wilayat, and this is actually the second largest in Algeria. It's about the size of California for my Americans out there, for some perspective. It's a huge piece of land, and if you know your American geography, you know that in the larger states there's not a lot there. It's a lot of things like wilderness, stuff like that. And that is fairly true for Adrar. Adrar is right in the heart of the Sahara Desert. Now I'll show you on Google Earth. The Sahara is not just endless sand dunes like you imagine when you picture like a hot desert. There are lots and lots of rocky areas and lots of little oases. It's a very busy place in terms of geography. It's not just sand, but Adrar is one of those places where there's a lot of sand. The big stretches of sand dunes that go on forever and ever are called ergs. And there are two main ergs in Adrar. They are the Grand Erg Occidental, which comes through the northern part here, and the Erg Chich, I believe it's pronounced Erg Chich, which just kind of takes up this area of Adrar. So right between these two ergs is this little strip here that's known as the Tuat Oasis Groups. Little oases spring up in this area here. You can see the various areas of little wadis and temporary seasonal lakes. And Adrar here, obviously the capital of Adrar, has the largest oases. And so pretty much you can see the roads built through the desert here. Most of the people live in this area. There are some smaller oasis towns up here. And I wonder if it'll pick up on camera. Can you see it? It's right just barely. There's a town right down here, right in the middle of nowhere. But pretty much all the other areas of Adrar you see are just endless sand dunes. It's really beautiful. Oh, and also for the geography nerds, the prime meridian is right here, just to make the geography nerds happy. So honestly, that's about it for geography. It is a whole lot of nothing. But let me tell you what little history I can find of this place. There is not a lot. All of these different names that you see come from the names of the Berber tribes, specifically the Amazigh tribes that established their little towns here. They would establish a specific kind of settlement known as a Kasaur, which is a fortified town, so walls and towers and all those things. When they established what's now Adrar, it was known as Timi. Adrar apparently means mountain in Amazigh, I believe. And apparently, all throughout Adrar, there are, I read this somewhere, did not confirm it, because I was like, really? I just wrote it down. There are apparently 299 Kasaurs throughout Adrar in Algeria. Pretty neat. All of these towns you see here are Kasaurs, or have their old ruins there. Lots and lots of very, very old ruins. But these Kasaurs were built because they were a trading post between the busy, busy coastal area of northern Africa and the busy, busy areas, mainly around the coast of western Africa. This was right in the middle, and people could meet here and trade. Of course, in West Africa, they were trading things like gold, and up north, they were trading things like salt. things that both areas of Africa really wanted and needed. So these were important little areas here. And not a lot of news has happened in Adrar. Just a couple of times throughout history. In 1900, apparently this area was occupied by Morocco. And France was sweeping through what's now Algeria on kind of like a rampage in a way to take over. And they occupied Adrar in the year 1900. Morocco wasn't pleased about that. They fought a lot about the French sweeping in, but the French definitely swept in and took over and incorporated this area into French North Africa. In particular, what's now Algeria was called French Algeria. And when Algeria gained its independence in 1962, this area was officially incorporated into the country. Sorry, Morocco. Algeria-Morocco relations are not great at this point in history in 2023, so it is what it is. It's not over this though, it's over other things. But yeah, Morocco lost this chunk of land, and now it's part of Algeria. Really only the major news coming out of Adrar has been since about 2020 or so. There are huge signs of climate change in the area. The desert here is getting hotter, especially in kind of the southern towns here and the oases groups. Daily highs in the summer reach like 50 degrees Celsius, which is about like just about 100 degrees Fahrenheit every single day. And just nonstop heat affects so many aspects of life. One of the ones I read is that, children can't comfortably learn in school, so the literacy rate is super low in places like this. Just little things like that you wouldn't expect are greatly, greatly changing the ways of life for people and the animals living in this part of Algeria. But I'm going to show you what this place looks like on Google Earth. Sorry this is such a short video. You have no idea how hard I've been looking for history for this place. Next we're going to be going to, I don't think you can see it here, it's this chunk here. It's also called Adrar in Mauritania, and there's tons of history about that place. So whenever I tried to find stuff about Adrar, Algeria, most of the time Adrar, Mauritania would pop up instead. It was very frustrating. Okay. Boom. Let me get this zoomed out. You could tell I was looking at the desert, right? I was admiring the beautiful desert. But let's explore the province of Adrar. Here we go. Let's there we go. Boom. So here's where we are in the world now that we're pointing the right way. You can see just how big this province is compared to the rest of Africa here. And like I said, the Sahara zoomed out. You can see all of the various mountains and plateaus and things like that. Whereas in Adrar, there is some, but it is mostly just desert with nothing there. So those are called ergs. And here you can see the little chain of oases towns. You can see Adrar up here. And that's the little one. This is it. You can see just how huge the oasis area is, and the city's grown out from there. From what I could tell from people's videos about Adrar, I think the most interesting place is over here. This is the, kind of like the city center. There we go, the Grand Place. Don't know if there's any pictures of it. Are there pictures of it? Oh, yeah. So, once the sun starts, what a dapper man. Once the sun starts to set, like you can see here, people gather for basically the equivalent of a farmer's market or like a food truck center in a way. And oh, that's lovely. They gather in the center of town, and I like that guy. And they spread out blankets, and they eat all together. There's what it looks like in the daytime. Pretty barren because it is very hot. That's a nice big picture. But in the nighttime, it's a kind of like a little party place. But as you can see, it's a big, sprawling city. There's lots of like universities. There's the airport over here. I thought it was over there, but it's somewhere. They've got the airport and all the things you would need for a big Saharan city. But there's not much. Oh, there it is. The airport. There's not much else to this place. It is a lot of sand and a lot of very teeny tiny towns. So you can see the little green dots of oases from up here. Let me just, let's go to this one. This one looks kind of big. Look at that, all the green there from underground water seeping up and growing a lot of date trees. Looks like there's some agriculture in this town too. And then the town just kind of grows around the oasis. And it's in the middle of nowhere. Just a ton of sand and rocks as far as the eye can see. It's, kind of desolate in a way, but it's also kind of beautiful, I think. It's another big, important town in the area. And yeah, there aren't a lot of like really cool pictures on Google Earth. Most of them are just there's like old gates and things around the towns from their ancient history, but that's pretty much it. So I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Like I said, we will be visiting Mauritania next. See the big gates, they look like that. Next we'll be visiting Mauritania, and okay, stop there. And learning more about this region of the desert. So if you liked this kind of content, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss out. I hope that you found this video relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a very good